Okay. Is it fine?
Pardon?
Is that fine? Am I audible? Am I?
You have two systems open in your room, so
Yeah,
mute
because
one of it.
one system I can't share.
Okay, I will give. I will make you co-host, then you will be able to share. Just a minute.
Sir, I request you, one of my subordinate, Dr. Tarun, can you make him co-host?
Whom you want to be the co-host?
Dr. Tarun.
Pathak. So Tarun Pathak. Okay, who is Tarun Pathak? Can you please raise your? Okay.
Dr. Tarun, are you there?
Yes. She can. Both of you can unmute yourself and share.
Okay. I don't know. I'm getting my echo. I'm getting voices at a time.
No. Just relax and slowly have your presentation. Nothing to worry. Take your time and relax and do your job.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Shaji. Good morning, good evening, good day to one and all. See, yesterday we have witnessed the inaugural session of 200th day celebration of IFPH. And I'm happy to see the way folks have come forward and extending hands.
Dr. Nudan, two systems are open. I think one now you have to mute. That's why the echo comes. Do it slowly, nothing to worry.
Is it fine?
No. Okay, now it is fine. Yes.
But it's not fine for me.
No, it
sir,
is
give me one time. Is that fine, sir?
Yes, fine.
Okay.
I'm fine. Two sets are working, sorry.
Hello, good evening, Dr. Sant. How are you?
Fine,
Now the echo is coming. I think two systems are working together. That's why the echo comes. Either from you or somebody else. Okay. Now you are not audible. No, not audible. You are not audible.
Okay.
And now okay.
Okay, fine. So, sir, I was talking about yesterday's inaugural function. It was wonderful, and I'm happy to see all of you all under one roof. And I must say that our efforts, like so much efforts for awareness of homeopathy, is positive because we have so many young minds today with us. So, and I agree that transformation is already taken place, and we started expanding our horizon all over the globe. So, without wasting any more time, I welcome all the participants and distinguished speakers, delegates to the Zoomathon 200th day of IFPH platform. So today we have our PG scholars from India, doctors from one of the prestigious institution of Uttar Pradesh, that is National Homeopathic Medical College, Lucknow. Sir, before I invite the speaker, our first guest, I would like my co-host, Dr. Tarun, share one video we have made for you. So, Mr. Tarun, can you share the video, please? Ladies and gentlemen, NHMC Lucknow. This is our state, Uttar Pradesh. We have 1,700 dispensaries. Yes. It is not audible, Dr. Tarun.
You need to increase the volume. Maximize the volume from your side.
Yeah. This is our college. So we have 9 government colleges in Uttar Pradesh. This is our college, National Medical College in Lucknow. There is no voice. Tarun, it is not audible. Our principal, Dr. Arvind Kumar Verma.
Please
Hanuman,
put the volume to the
Commissioner,
maximum.
Dr. Hanuman. Dr. Tarun, increase the volume. There is no sound. This is our OPD. Emergency block. We have 1,000 patients per day in our OPD. And 16 OPDs. Our interns and PGs. We have 250 colleges of pharmacy, homeopathic pharmacy in Uttar Pradesh. This is a unit, the central unit we have, HDRI, Homeopathic Drug Research Institute of Homeopathy. Yes. This is our pharmacy, dispensary. Tarun, it is not audible. Sound is not coming. Can you maximize the sound? This is a college building. We have 9 government college and emerging as a capital of homeopathy in India. This is the bird eye view of a college. I know Kerala is religiously following homeopathy, but we are emerging as a second, we are having second capital status, you know. This is on Hanuman Day. We have Hanuman statue in our campus. Yes. We celebrate all international days in our college, like Earth Day, by plantation. Okay. International Yoga Day. Faculty, NHMC, OPDs, NHMC. This is Material Medical Department. These are our PG scholars with faculty. Republic Day. Case presentation is going on. So these are the activities we follow on daily basis, weekly basis. This is one of the eminent, one of the prestigious institutions, the second college in Asia, second homeopathic college in Asia. It was established in 1921. And we have capacity of 125 students for undergraduate students. This is the provincialization day, which was celebrated by inviting our Minister of Ayush. Again, provincialization day, which falls on 12th of December. We actively participate in festival activities also. Again, Arun, there is no sound and repetition of slides. Move ahead. Little faster. Yeah, Vasant Panchami, Saraswati Puja we offer on no video, Tarun. Something went wrong. Tarun, are you there? Tarun, are you there? Okay, he's not there. So today we have 14 participants. Mostly they are young doctors, PG scholars. So let's talk about body language first, weeping. So to invite I call upon Dr. Garima to discuss weeping and their analysis. Garima, Dr. Garima. Dr. Garima.
You can unmute from your side, doctor.
Okay. Good evening. Good evening, all. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Myself,
to you.
Dr. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Myself, Dr. Garima Sahu, PG scholar, NHMC, Lucknow, UP. First of all, I want to thank you. I have PS team and my respected Dr. Nutan Sharma ma'am to provide me such a huge platform to speak something about homeopathy. Ma'am, in this short time, I want to share my small presentation about weeping postures and their analysis and its analysis. Ma'am, as a homeopathic physician, we have to be a psychologist to observe our patients in all aspects. What they are saying, what postures they make to say their complaints, we have to observe all of them. I chose to demonstrate some weeping postures and their analysis because, as we know, that eyes are the mirror of heart. Ma'am, now I want to share my screen. इसमें मैम ऑप्शन आ रहा है only host can share in this meeting.
No, now you are a co-host, so you can share.
Okay, sir.
You can share now.
Okay, sir. So, can you see my screen?
Not yet.
No, Garima.
Not. Not yet. Okay. Excuse me.
Video
Um,
could not done because of crash of internet. There was some problem in apps, so we could not see the video.
okay, ma'am. I'm trying to
See
share.
We all can
Okay.
see you. Relax, Karima.
Mhm. How can I share my screen?
It is coming. It is
Okay.
coming. You do it slowly.
Mhm.
There is a green button.
In the middle of screen, Garima.
Okay, ma'am. Just a
You are on
minute, ma'am.
phone or laptop?
Ma'am, on phone.
Phone. There is one green button is there in the middle.
Yes,
Tap
I
on the
want
phone.
to share my screen.
Tap on the
Mhm.
phone.
Yeah, ma'am.
Tap karo. Okay.
Ma'am, कर लिया.
In center.
Okay,
Tap it.
ma'am. Okay, okay.
Tap.
Okay, ma'am.
In center green button.
Okay.
Yeah. Good.
Okay, ma'am. Now I can. Your permission. हो गया. Ma'am, is it visible?
It is not visible.
Not visible. Ma'am, no problem. Is it visible, ma'am?
No. Still not visible, Garima.
No problem, ma'am. Yeah, it's not visible.
Yeah. It's coming. Buffering takes place.
Okay, okay. Hmm. Is it visible to all?
Yes, yes, yes. Go ahead.
I'm showing 4 weeping postures and their analysis with respective remedies which we can think. As we know, eyes, the mirror of heart. The eyes has its own special bathing system. Eyes are mirror of innermost feeling and convey everything without saying a single word. Eyes reveal the secrets of inner emotions. हमारी आंखें दिल का आईना होती हैं. हम आंखें पढ़ के किसी के अंदर की फीलिंग्स और इमोशंस सिर्फ आंखों से जान सकते हैं अगर हम बहुत अच्छे ऑब्जर्वर हैं. और एज अ होम्योपैथ वी हैव टू बी अ गुड ऑब्जर्वर. तभी हम कुछ अच्छा कर सकते हैं. So first question I want to discuss about weeping with face covered. As we see, the person is when we see the person is weeping with covering all of his face, then we can assess कि ये ऐसे क्यों रो रहा है, why? तो इसके कई सारे reasons हो सकते हैं. There are many reasons कि वो ऐसे क्यों रो रहा है. फर्स्टली ये हो सकता है कि वो इतना अपनी फीलिंग को एक्सप्रेस ही नहीं कर पा रहा हो. दे आर इनकैपेबल टू एक्सप्रेस देयर फीलिंग. दे आर वेरी इंट्रोवर्टेड पर्सन्स. दे कांट एक्सप्रेस देमसेल्व्स. क्यों? और इस वजह से भी ऐसे कोई रो सकता है कि इनकी वीकनेस कोई ना पकड़ ले. दे डोंट वांट टू शो देयर वीकर साइड टू द वर्ल्ड. तो ऐसे में हम कौन सी मेडिसिन सोच सकते हैं? ऐसी मेडिसिन जो कि इंट्रोवर्ट हों, सैड हूँ, ऐसी मेडिसिन जो अपने आप को एक्सप्रेस ना कर पाती हूँ, अपनी फीलिंग को एक्सप्रेस करने की जिनके अंदर कैपेसिटी ही ना हो, ऐसी मेडिसिन। तो वी कैन थिंक अबाउट ऑरम, इग्निशिया, मैग्नीशियम, नाट्रम प्यूर एंड स्टेप। नाट्रम म्यूर्स इंट्रोवर्टेड होते हैं, जैसा कि हम सभी जानते हैं, एंड दे आर इमोशनल पर्सन, दे आर वेरी वल्नरेबल पर्सन, एंड ये किसी के सामने अपने आप को अपने इमोशन शो नहीं करना चाहते हैं। ये वीक होते हैं, इंटरनली वीक होते हैं, लेकिन अपने आप को शो करते हैं कि बहुत स्ट्रांग हैं। तो इनकी वीपिंग भी इसी तरीके की होगी, एकदम छुप करके, अपने इमोशंस को छुपा करके ये अपने ये रोएंगे। स्टेप बहुत ही सप्रेस पर्सनैलिटी होती है, तो ड्यू टू सप्रेशन ये अपने आप को शो नहीं कर पाते, इनके अंदर की कैपेबिलिटी नहीं होती है कि वो अपनी वीकनेस को दूसरों के सामने शो कर सके। तो जब भी रोएंगे ऐसे ही कहीं फेस छुपा करके कहीं पर भी रोएंगे। ऑरम बहुत ही डिग्निफाइड पर्सनैलिटी होती है। ऑरम ऑरम के बारे में ऐसा बोला जाता है कि वो सुसाइड भी करेगा तो बिना किसी को बताए तुरंत ही कर लेगा। तो वो इस तरह की पर्सनैलिटी होती है कि वो अपनी अंदर की वीकनेस को किसी के सामने भी शो नहीं करना चाहते हैं। इग्निशिया एक्यूट ग्रीफ में ये मेडिसिन दी जाती है, और ये भी इंट्रोवर्टेड और सैड मेडिसिन है। मैग्नीशियम, एज वी नो, ये मैग्नीशियम जो होते हैं ये हाउस वाइफ्स को बोला जाता है, ये बहुत ही सर्वाइल से होते हैं, ऑर्फन टाइप की फीलिंग होती है इनके अंदर। तो मैग्नीशियम की वीपिंग कैसी होगी, ये भी इनके अलोन बहुत अलोन फील करते हैं, और क्योंकि ऑर्फन फीलिंग होती है, ये भी अपने आप को छुपा करके कहीं रोना चाहेंगे। सेकेंड क्वेश्चन, वीपिंग विद आईज कवर्ड। कुछ लोग ऐसे होते हैं जो सामने से दिखता है कि बिल्कुल सिर्फ आंखों को कवर करके रो रहे हैं, एक्चुअली में ये अंदर से कुछ और होते हैं और बाहर से कुछ और होते हैं। इनके टीयर्स एक्चुअल टीयर्स नहीं होते हैं, इनके टीयर्स ऐसे होते हैं कि मतलब जैसे कहते हैं ना क्रोकोडाइल टीयर्स, मगरमच्छी आंसू, जो कि दूसरों को दिखा रहे हैं कि मैं सैड हूँ, मैं हर्ट हूँ, पर एक्चुअली में दे आर नॉट हर्ट। उनको कुछ चाहिए, चाहे वो आपको शो कर रहे हैं वीप करके कि या सिंपैथी चाहिए या कुछ एप्रिसिएशन चाहिए या कुछ चाहिए आपसे, तो वो इस तरीके की वीपिंग शो करेंगे। इस टाइप के पर्सन नॉन ट्रस्टवर्दी होते हैं, जिन पे हम ट्रस्ट नहीं कर सकते। तो हम मेडिसिन भी ऐसे ही सोचेंगे जो इस तरह की होंगी, जो बहुत ही मैनिपुलेटिव होंगी, अपना काम निकलवाने के लिए वीप कर लेते हैं। कुछ लोग ऐसे दिखाते हैं कि अपने आप को बहुत इसको क्या बोलेंगे, बहुत ही दुखी दिखा करके आपसे काम निकलवा लेंगे। ऐसी मेडिसिन जो जैसे कि स्नेक्स होते हैं, बहुत ही चालाक, मैनिपुलेटिव, क्लेवर पर्सनैलिटीज होती है। स्पाइडर्स, ये भी ऐसी होती है। पल्सिटिला को एप्रिसिएशन चाहिए, कुछ चाहिए, दे वांट सिंपैथी, इसीलिए वो आपको दिखा दिखा के रोएगी। ठीक है। मर्क, थूजा, ये तो साइकोटिक पर्सनैलिटीज होती हैं, अंदर कुछ और होता है, बाहर कुछ और होता है। Third is weeping with face hidden against a object. Like somebody कोई रो रहा है तो किसी पिलो को पकड़ के, या हाथ में बुक है तो उसी को पकड़ के रोने लगा है। तो ये कैसे लोग होते हैं, इनको दो कैटेगरीज में डिवाइड किया जा सकता है। एक तो ओपन एंड जो ओपनली ऐसा करते हैं। तो ऐसा क्यों करेंगे, ऐसा किसी के सामने अगर रोना आ जाएगा लेकिन फिर भी अपने आप को छुपा रहे हैं, तो वो अपने इमोशंस को शो नहीं करना चाहते हैं। दे डोंट वांट टू शो देयर इमोशंस टू अदर्स। कंसीलमेंट, अपने आप अपने सारे इमोशंस को छुपाना चाहते हैं। दूसरे होते हैं सॉलिटरी, जो अकेले में भी ऐसे रोते हैं। तो अकेले में भी कोई अपने को क्यों कोई पिलो लेकर के या बुक लेकर के कोई क्यों रोएगा, बिकॉज ये इंटरनली इतने सौरो इतने इनका इतना अंदर से दुखी होते हैं, और इनको पब्लिसिटी नहीं चाहिए होती है। डोंट वांट टू शो कि इनका कुछ भी, कोई भी इमोशन बाहर आए, किसी के भी सामने आए। इस तरह के लोग, इस तरह की वीपिंग से भी हम कुछ मेडिसिन सजेस्ट कर सकते हैं। ये भी सैड मेडिसिन होंगी, वेरी इंट्रोवर्टेड, वीक विल्ड मेडिसिन होंगी, क्योंकि इनको रोने के लिए भी सपोर्ट का सहारा चाहिए। लाइक दे वांट, ये रो रहे हैं तो भी इनको किताब या पिलो चाहिए, जैसे कैलकेरिया, नीड इसकी सपोर्ट है। ठीक है। कार्सिनोसिन, बचपन से ही बहुत ही डोमिनेटेड रहते हैं, अपने से कुछ सोच ही नहीं पाते, ऐसे लोग होते हैं। कॉस्टिकम, इग्निशिया, कालीज, नाजा, नैट्रम, ये सब इसमें हम थिंक कर सकते हैं ऐसी वीपिंग को देख के कि ऐसी मेडिसिन हो सकती हैं। फोर्थ, वीपिंग विद रबिंग द आईज। जैसे बच्चे रोते हैं, लाइक बच्चे होते हैं ना, ऐसे हाथ रब करके रोते हैं। तो ऐसे लोग कौन से होते हैं, जैसे इमैच्योर हो गए, बड़े ही इमैच्योर सी वीपिंग है ये, बहुत ही चाइल्डिश बिहेवियर टाइप शो करता है। ऐसे लोग बहुत ही ऑब्स्टिनेट होते हैं और डिमांडिंग होते हैं, अपनी बात मनवाना जानते हैं। और बच्चे अपनी बात इसी तरीके से मनवाते हैं रोके। तो इसमें मेडिसिन भी आएंगी जो चाइल्डिश मेडिसिन होंगी, हम सोच सकते हैं कि ऐसी मेडिसिन हो सकती है, लाइक बेराइटा हो गई, बूफो हो गई, सिकुटा, नक्स मॉस्फाटा, कैलकेरिया, चाइल्डिश मेडिसिन। थैंक यू। इतने शॉर्ट टाइम में इतने शॉर्ट टाइम के लिए मैंने शॉर्ट सी प्रेजेंटेशन रखी।
Wonderful, Garima. It was more of gestures you were talking about, and our homeopathy, Dr. Hanneman, he also spoken about gestures and body language in aphorism number 211 and aphorism number 6, unprejudiced observer. So, can you tell us what is the importance of gestures in prescription?
Yes, ma'am. Gestures बहुत ही ज़्यादा important.
Like in case of pediatrics, like in
Yes,
cases
ma'am.
of imbecile or semantic disorders, when we don't have sufficient data, and patient is unconscious suddenly,
Yes.
or you can say during the time of gradation of mental symptoms. So these are the points when we prescribe, and then in case where the patient is deaf or dumb, or when we evaluating the mental expressions or mental dispositions. So in those cases, in homeopathy also, Dr. Hanneman have emphasized to note down the gestures, because body, the book before there is the study of the non-verbal communication of the patient is in alignment with the doctrine of vital force, as it is the derangement of the vital force which manifests externally through expressions. So that's why. Okay, thank you so much, Garima.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Our next guest is Dr. Sana. So I call upon Dr. Sana. Please take over. Dr. Sana. Dr. Sana will talk about homeopathy in current situation. Homeopathy in current situation. Dr. Sana, are you there?
Please open your
Dr.
video
Sana?
so that you will be visible.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so
Yes.
you have a presentation to share?
I don't have any presentation. I will just speak some few words about
Okay,
homeopathy today.
Okay.
First of all, let me start from introducing myself. Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Sana Khan from National Homeopathic Medical College, Lucknow. And I am a PG scholar here. And today I want to tell very basic information about homeopathy. So what is homeopathy? First of all, if there is any layman, he would have to know that homeopathy is a very natural and non-invasive system. Why we call it non-invasive? Because we do not do anything which for which our body needs to be have any exposure to any instrumentation or anything which has to be go as a foreign substance inside the body. So it is the safest method, we call it, and obviously it's natural and non-invasive. That's why we called it. So this is based on the theory that the substances that causes the certain symptoms in a healthy person in the like crude form, it can annihilate the same symptom into the potentized form. That's how it causes the cure into an unhealthy person. So we call this principle as a similia similibus curantur, that let cure be cured by like. Let like be cured by the like. Thus, we get the name homeopathy. Homeo, that is similar. Pathy, that means the disease. The logic is that the similar substance promote the healing by stimulating your body's natural healing mechanics. The term homeopathy is often incorrectly used. Why? Because for the layman, they think all the system in India, especially I'm talking about India, there are multiple system of we call this natural system of or alternative system of medicine, and homeopathy is a part of it. There is a system known as the Ayush, and homeopathy is a part of it. So many people doesn't even know that homeopathy has its a different existence. They think all of them, that Ayurveda, Unani, they all are same, but homeopathy has it. For the people who don't know, I'm speaking it. Homeopathy has it a different, very established existence. The term homeopathy used to refer to almost all the alternative for the layman people. especially the use of the herbal and other natural remedies. But in the practice, we know that however share much in common with other forms of alternative healthcare. For instance, homeopathy, like some other type of alternative medicines, take the holistic approach on the health. That's what their homeopathy is similar with the other system of medicine, because they also claim that their approach for the treatment, for the cure is holistic. And we also claims the same, and we do not only claim, we believed it, that our approach is holistic, totally holistic approach we have for the health, for the cure. So it focuses on the whole person, not solely upon the particular condition on which a patient is presenting. As we all know, in the case taking, for allopathic, or we can call it the advanced system of medicine, they call themselves, they focus more upon the presenting complaints, right? But we focus on what? A particular patient. I mean, on the every condition he have, from his past history is as much important as his present history. His mental symptoms, even though important, the patient is only representing the physical symptoms. So we take the patient as a whole. That's why we call this the totality of the symptom, the individualization. That is why our approach is holistic, and we are so firm and so much we believe in this system, that our approach is totally holistic, because we see patient as a whole. We do not see a part is suffering, we see the patient is suffering. That's why our pathy believe it, and of course try to prove itself in every way. So it focuses on the whole person, not solely on the condition. Homeopathy is designed to help the body heal itself, not to suppress or control the symptom. In conventional or allopathic medicine, the aim often is to control the illness through the drugs or the surgery. But homeopathy content, this approach often fails to restore the patient to health and only suppresses the symptom. Homeopathy seeks to restore health rather than cure the illness. They are two very different things, looking alike, looking similar, but of course is a very different thing. In the very first aphorism and the second aphorism, the initial aphorism, there are mentioned in the Organon of Medicine that the first and foremost aim of the physician is to restore the sick to health, to cure as it is termed. So restoration of the health, what do we understand by that? That only removal of the symptom can be the restoration of the health, or the only the symptom patient is presenting, if we can remove the symptom, is that only the restoration of health? No, but the restoration of the health is when the patient is coming into the position when he can say that he is in a well-being, mentally also, socially also, and of course in every way possible. So this is the approach taken by the homeopathy, that is holistic approach. I try to make a point here that we take patient as a whole, on his mental basis, on his present history, his family history, personal history, physical journals, mental journals, every way possible, we consider patient as a whole organism. That's why the approach of the homeopathy is so holistic, right? So next, this is the concept of homeopathy, individualization. I stated that I tried at least. Then I want to tell people how it was initiated. Everybody knows Samuel Hahnemann, sir, the great German physician. He founded the homeopathy, and when in 18th century, when he was going through a Cullen's Materia Medica, and he was reading about it, then about the China medicine, then he founded the homeopathy. He founded the concept, he procured the concept from there, that similia similibus current. When he read all the literature going on there, which he was translating for Cullen's Materia Medica, then he acknowledged the fact, then he grasped the fact that the same substance, then the like substances can be cured by the like, because they created the similar symptom in a healthy individual if given in the cured form. So Samuel Hahnemann, a German physician, he founded the homeopathy in 18th century, as I stated, and it is almost in it is almost prevalent in it is used in so many countries in entire world. I don't know if this is an international forum. And if anybody of the international candidates is watching, so they must know if, that United States, it comes into the United States in around 1825 by an American physician who has studied in Europe and embraced the approach to the United States of America. Its popularity reached out to the peak in 19th century as allopathic medicine, the term applied to general practice of medicine today. Allopathic medicine, first of all, I'll let you know that allopathic term itself was coined by Dr. Hahnemann only. Before that, there was no special term for this system of the medicine. Allopathy, yani ki different, that means different, there is no relation between the medicine given, and there is no relation within the symptoms. There is no particular relation. As in homeopathy, there is a relation. The symptoms are similar and the drugs given which are producing the symptoms are similar. But allopathy, that is means allo word is means different, like the homeo words means similar, same. So the allopathic term gained prominence in 20th century, but the homeopathy was on its peak prominence in the 19th century. We should all know that it was the most used medicine in the United States in 19th century. So in 20th century, there was a very good peak of the allopathy again. Then the homeopathy fell off dramatically because there was, what was the reason? What may be the reason? Because there was a lot of the research. They have so much funds. There was for allopathic system of medicine. Homeopathy was lacking in it. That's why the homeopathy fell off. There was the lack of confidence of the people who are providing the healthcare system of homeopathy. They had the lack of confidence. They couldn't go for the further research. We ourselves, homeopaths, we say now that audi sapere, dare to be wise. Maybe there must be the fact that we couldn't dare to be the wise or the wiser as we could be. So homeopathy fell dramatically into the 20th century. It always been the popular in the many European countries and Asian countries also. And I think India, if we talk about the world, India is the country where homeopathy is mostly used in compared to the entire world. There is a huge number of the population using homeopathy. It is second most popular and famous system of the medicine here after allopathy. So homeopathy is very much popular in India. Its popularity, it's always been the popular in, of course, many European states, because the origin was also from that one of the countries of Europe, obviously. So right now it is very much popular in the Europe and the Asian country, and it's starting to regain the following here, thanks to the current interest in alternative and contemporary approach to the healthcare. So people again started believing in the alternative system of the medicine, and in alternative system of medicine, I can bet that many of the people literally believes that the homeopathy is the best. And why allopathy is gaining so much popularity? It may be because I can speak from the perspective of a layman also. If for a moment I stop being a physician or a doctor, I can say why allopathy has a much peak right now, because they have so much advanced thing. They have surgery which can alleviate the treatment in within few time. I mean, very less time. But people does not believe it, of course, for the homeopathy, that it can do. It can alleviate the symptoms, or it can produce any improvement and in very less time. So people are going for the allopathy, of course, because they do not have time. Everybody's in so much rush. They want everybody want to feel good as soon as possible. So they do not look after the side effects produced by any allopathic system of the medicine. They must be having their charm. Allopathy must have its charm, that it has its surgery, it has its emergency system, which is of course irreplaceable. And I cannot deny that the fact that emergency system of the allopathic medicine is of course the best. But we cannot deny the fact that our approach for the healthcare system is the best. because we do not treat the disease, we do not treat a particular symptom patient is coming with, we cure the patient as a whole. We believe in the thing that the patient, if he is coming, then he should go and he should be feeling like mental well-being, what we say. So that's why the approach of the homeopathy is of course the very spiritual and very much human. So homeopathy current status in India is very much popular. Interest of the people in the alternative system of the medicine is of course increasing. Homeopathy, how did it come to India? It was not of course originated in India, everybody knows that. So how did it come to the India? So let me brief it here. Like homeopathy was introduced in India in the early 19th century. It flourishes in the Bengal. Acha. Meanwhile, I want to flaunt it. I want to say it proudly that our institution, National Homeopathic Medical College, is the second oldest college in entire India. The first one being Calcutta Homeopathic Medical College, and second is our college, National Homeopathic Medical College, and of course, I'm the proud PG scholar here. So it was established in 1921. My college, that is National Homeopathic Medical College, it was established in 1921. It is the first oldest government college in India, and second established any college of homeopathy in India. And right now in Uttar Pradesh, as Dr. Nutan ma'am mentioned, there are 9 working, functioning homeopathic medical colleges, and the seats of undergraduate students are per colleges there 125, and for PG student, for MD in homeopathy, the number of the seats are increasing per year. We got a chance to do MD in our only state. Before a few years back, the MD, the PG course was only in the Calcutta and some other states also, but our state was lacking in this background. But right now, there are 3 cities having 3 homeopathic medical colleges, which are having MD seats. 18 MD seat. My college has 23 MD seat right now, and we are flourishing is we are trying our level best to reach to take the homeopathy to go on its peak. How? Because everyone here I see, I cannot say that about myself that I am a very good physician, but I see everybody around me, my batchmates, my colleagues, even the juniors who just joined, they all are a dedicated homeopath. We do not there was a term used in organon of medicine, mongrel set. We I can proudly say we do not do that. We really believe into the minimum. We really believe into the minimum dose.
Sorry to interrupt, Dr. Sana. You are
Yes,
exceeding time limit. You need to conclude in.
Of course, sure, ma'am. Let me conclude it. So the beginning of the homeopathy in India was from Calcutta, and right now it is flourishing in throughout the country, and it is the second most popular system of the medicine using in the India. And UP is among the is among the top state where homeopathy is used maximum. And let me conclude my words. I had a lot to say, but it's all right. We do not have much time. We have our limits. But to conclude it, I really like to thank everyone out there who listened to me patiently, and I would like to thank Dr. Nutan Sharma ma'am who given me opportunity to speak up here on this great platform where internationally people can hear my voice. So let me say thank you everyone, and have a nice time. Bye.
Thank you, Sana. Thank you, Dr. Sana. Yes, I agree with you. There is a mood for holistic healthcare. There is a mood to go towards stress-free life, from stressful life to homeopathy. So now I call upon our next speaker, Dr. Priyanka. Dr. Priyanka San, on topic physiognomy and homeopathy. Dr. Priyanka San. Dr. Priyanka, are you there? Dr. Priyanka, Dr. Monica, are you there? Dr. Monica? Dr. Monica? Dr. Monica? Okay. Let's move ahead to our next speaker, Dr. Neeraj. Dr. Neeraj will speak on disposition in homeopathy. Dr. Neeraj, over to you.
Dr. Neeraj has any presentation?
Dr. Neeraj? Dr. Neeraj, are you there?
Okay, Dr. Neeraj has any presentation to share?
I don't know. Yes, he has certain some.
I'm audible or not? Hello?
You have two systems open in your room. Close
Okay.
one of
I'm
it.
sharing screen.
Dr.
So
Neeraj,
I'll make you
I'm sharing
co-host.
screen.
shut down one screen. You please shut down one screen.
Okay. I'm sharing a screen and my
Yes,
topic is
visible.
disposition homeopathy. Hello? I'm audible or not?
Yes, Dr. Neeraj, you are audible enough, visible enough, but there is an echo. So I would suggest you to shut down one system. Either you talk on phone or on laptop. Okay?
Ma'am,
Now talk, speak something. Not possible?
my screen is paused.
Then you can mute one system.
Okay.
Still there is an echo. We cannot hear you clearly. You got me? Okay, go ahead. Dr. Neeraj, you
Yes,
go ahead.
ma'am.
Go ahead.
I'm sharing a PPT on dispositions in homeopathy. Like affectionate, we have pulsatilla, phosphorus, carcinosin,
Sorry to interrupt
chocolate.
you, Dr. Neeraj. You need to shut down one system.
Yes,
There is echo. There is two voices.
ma'am, I'm using only one system.
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
I don't know why it is there is no echo here.
Yeah. No problem. Go ahead.
Okay. My topic is dispositions in homeopathy. First, we take the affectionate remedies like pulsatilla, phosphorus, carcinosin, chocolate, natrum, nux vomica, silesia, alumina, ignitia, lexis, opium, coffee, and cocculus. We go to the palladium, which is a self-praiser. It is a chilly, hot, thirsty, or thirstless remedy. These are the sweet and charming people who want appreciation for their looks and appearance. And they cannot tolerate anyone neglecting them or criticizing them. Their ego like platina, but softer. They never break relationships with other people. She wants others to look up to her. They are very sensitive to rudeness. Insults or neglects have tremendous jealousy and consolation ameliorates. They are more positive constitutions than the phosphorus. Then we have the magnum. We are self-praisers. They are sweet looking, always smiling people, benevolent, and do a lot of social work, do gooder, kind-hearted, and like to help. And they please us by helping. This is their internal desire. Magnum loves appreciation for work and deeds, loves sad and music. Then we have the morphinum. Talks as if excited. They literally shout when talking. They are close associate of well have a lot of power. They are close associated of belladonna, have a lot of power that is expressed in laughing and talking, have dark red face. They are liars and do not have any morals, have no feelings and hard-hearted, criminal disposition. They are syphilitic and have premature old age. Then we have the chocolate. Chocolate has two shades, that is sweet and bitter part. There's sweetness, that is where sweet to talk, communicative, have patience, contented love for animals, love, chocolate, ice cream, love nature, never complain or hurt you. But their bitter part is they're very political and always tells the truth plain. What they have their mind, they will bluntly tell you. Frankly tells what things about the other, know how to get their work done without hurting others. Now we have the stramonium. They are talk loudly, full of life, chirpy. Like birds, they always talk in a very chirpy manner. They frighten easily, panicky from narrow places. They always make verses and poems on love and death. More loquacious and ability to make jokes, not as obscene or lewd as it talks as of Alzheimer's. Then we have the mosquers. Persons who talks as if they are excited, voice is very loud, cracked and harsh, forceful, no sweetness. When someone point out about it, they will bashfully bend down and voices goes into the whispers. Like it is a motor boat with a lot of power, energy, but without any rudder or control. They talk without any control and directions. They always talk directionless. The reaction to any situation is too much and too powerful. Laughter starts with a blow up of air of the mouth and laughing immoderately. Overreacts to all situations. Anger make lips blue and causing fainting. Slight hurt and they cry loudly, and they are pampered children. Now with the loud talkers, they're like opium. They're very sharp-minded but slow in body. Mind is vivacious, body as in torpor, courageous and eloquent speaker, sublime, intelligent and contented, can be benevolent, do-gooder and helper. When we talk about opium, contentment is the keynote. Because the psychotic opium has very deep sleep, syphilitic opium has very light sleep. They're hot, thirsty, alertness of the senses. These people are, though will physically look very torpor, but they're mentally very quick and alert. Now we talk about the political remedies like lycopodium, Vetrem, album, fluoric acid, lachesis, Alzheimer's, sulfur, mug salt, opium, camphor, sepia, ferrum, and the anacardium. These are the politician remedies. Then we have the responsible and the sober remedies like arum, ignitia, ferrum, and staph, stramonium, arsenic, acid phos, silesia, lycopodium, sternum, nux vomica, and cupra. Then we have the morose and sad looking like remedies like ammonium, natramure, carbon, sepia, china, acid phos, and lachesis, arnica, nux vomica, pulsatilla, arsenic, and the colocynth. Graceful remedies like arsenic, carcinosin chocolate, ignitia, sepia, phosphorus, natramure, palladium, and platinum. Good boy or girl image like Brynia, arsenic, natrum, lycopodium, sulfur, thuja, carcinosin, ignitia, natrum, carb, Staphylococcus agria. Managed habits of women, that is few women who are like managed behavior like natramure, platina, carboveg, simsifuga, petroleum, fluoric acid, sepia, and sulfur. Then we have few remedies which are always hurried like tarantula, lilium tick, sulfuric acid, nux vomica, stramonium, and nitric acid. Then we have the positive confident all metals like ferrum, chocolate, camphor, mug salt, lachesis, sepia, arsenic, nux vomica, hippia, and the causticum. Then we have the few angry remedies like nux vomica, chamomilla, mercury, china, hippar sulf, arum, apis, granite, and ferrum. few remedies which are talked and disposed to, like all carbons, muriaticums, natrums, all acids, timid ammoniums, timid like ammoniums, calcarea, pulsatilla, silicia, baryta, introverts, natramure, magnesiums, ignitia, sepia, granite, and arsenic. We have very vivacious and cheerful, excitable, enthusiastic constitution like Alzheimer's, cannabis, moscus, phosphorus, parisque, sulfur, morphinium, and crocus. We are very memory active. They are very mentally sharp and quick-witted remedies. That is, when you question them, they will quickly reply to you, like lachesis, Alzheimer's, opium, cannabis indica, phosphorus, sulfur, belladonna, and the iodine. Fearful, timid, and cowardice remedies like calcarea, carbons, pulsatilla, rustrox, baryta, gelsemium, plumbum, petroleum, and sulfur. We have few haughty remedies like platina, veratrum album, lachesis, lycopodium, nux vomica, stanamet, and palladium. There are few remedy who are anxiety conscious of, that is, they will always think उससे गलती से भी गलती ना हो जाए, like arsenic, alumina, arum, sulfur, sorinum, and chelidonium. Then we have the E family remedies like pulsatilla, lycopodium, platina, calcarea, fluoric acid, silicia, and syphilinum. There are few diligent remedies who do their work in a very routine manner and always take their work very seriously. And few non-diligent remedies. All the purpose of doing the disposition, like as we have read in the aphorism number 211, that is the mind disposition helps in finding the remedy. And in the aphorism number 213, in its footnote, Hahnemann has written in the Organ of Medicine, like we cannot give nux vomica to a calm and equitable disposition person. Likewise, we not give pulsatilla to a very angry person. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Neeraj. It was wonderful talk on disposition of the various disposition. It would be more beautiful if you could give given the differences in the indications also. But since we were having less of time, it was adequate and wonderful. Thank you, Dr. Neeraj.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now I call upon our next speaker, Dr. Priyanka. Dr.
Yes, ma'am.
Priyanka.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Priyanka
I
is
want to
there?
share my slides, ma'am.
Dr. Priyanka San.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, come on. Over to you.
मैम शेयर करने
Only you are.
शेयर नहीं हो रहा है मैम, स्क्रीन शेयर नहीं हो रहा है, उनसे मैम अलाउ कराइए.
I request IFPS team to allow Dr. Monica Yadav to share her screen. Dr. Shaji, are you there? I request team of IFPH kindly allow Dr. Monica Yadav.
Ma'am, you can
her
share the screen now.
हो गया. डॉक्यूमेंट सॉरी कहाँ गया? अरे यहाँ
No, you can share.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
देखो दिख रही है स्क्रीन.
अरे वीडियो, हाँ वीडियो नहीं स्टार्ट. अरे तुम्हारे में मैम एक मिनट.
Dr. Priyanka will talk.
यस मैम बस शेयर कर रहे हैं.
and homeopathy. I request all other delegates to mute themselves.
You can start screen share while letting the participant to share. कोई और कर रहा है. Ready 9 minutes screen.
बहुत शेयर मैम शेयर नहीं हो पा रहा है स्क्रीन.
Okay, it is not possible right now to.
There is written you cannot start sharing while other participant is sharing. Kindly allow this device to share the screen.
I request other delegate not to share screen. I request other delegate not to share screen. Yes. Now you start sharing. Priyanka?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Only host.
Ma'am, this
If your
device.
phone, if you are on phone, you tap the screen. There's a little
Ma'am, we know how
one
it's
option
done,
is there,
but
green option.
ma'am, I know how it's done, but there is a warning written that you cannot share the screen while another participant is sharing the screen. So this device is not particularly allowed to share the screen.
This device is not allowing. Okay.
Ma'am, can you try once more? Now it is allowed at actually.
Priyanka, try once more.
Okay, okay.
I request other delegate not to share screen. I request other delegates stop sharing screen. I think you need a time. You need some time, Priyanka.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let's move on. Let's move ahead to our next guest, Dr. Deepak. Dr. Deepak, he's coming with a case presentation with a different interpretation. So, Dr. Deepak, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Deepak, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. I'm
Yes,
here.
Dr. Deepak. Yeah, share you. The
Yes,
floor
ma'am.
is yours. Floor is yours.
Ma'am, I want to share the PPT.
Okay. Okay. Now start
No,
sharing.
sir. Sorry. Sharing का option.
You're on phone or laptop, Deepak?
मैम मैं फोन पर हूँ मैम.
फोन पे है तो फोन पे आप टैप कर रहे हैं और बीच में ग्रीन बटन होगा, टैप करेंगे तो ग्रीन बटन आएगा.
यस मैम.
जैसे आप टैप करेंगे ग्रीन बटन शेयर है दबाइए. Yes, yes. It's starting now. Yes, good.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, relax. Yeah, we got it. Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
We got it.
Ma'am.
Now we can see you. Your case.
Okay, ma'am. I'm presenting a case of mucocele of lower lips, and as the mucocele of lower lip is the tumor of oral cavity, and it's a cystic tumor and benign tumor. Mucocele is most common site is lower lip. It is a retention cyst of minor salivary gland of the lip. The lesion appears as a soft and cystic mass of bluish color. Treatment is surgical excision. In allopathy, the mucocele can only be treated by surgery, but in homeopathy, we can treat it without surgery. Mucocele is characterized by a rounded, well-circumscribed, transparent and bluish-colored lesion of variable size. Mostly, they are soft in consistency and fluctuate while on palpation. अगर हम इसको ट्रीटमेंट नहीं देते तो बहुत समय तक वैसे ही रहता है जैसे. They can persist unchanged for months unless treated. It's the pathology. It is of two types: mucus extravasation phenomena and mucus retention cyst. So now come to the case. When the patient first came to the clinic, it was 2019. It's a male patient, age 31 years, present with swelling inside of lower lips, right side since 6 months. Swelling was painless. Allopathic doctors had advised surgery. Past history: jaundice in 2012, chickenpox in childhood. Physical journals: hepatitis decreased, aggravation from milk which causes loose motion. Patient was chilly, thirsty, thirst for large quantity and frequent. Sleeplessness when there is any conflict at home or workplace which disturbs the mind and started thinking how he will manage it. Stool was not clear, has to go for 3 to 4 times, semi-solid, which was offensive. And patient has carriage rising aggravation on riding carriage. Patient suffered from nausea, vomiting, and smell, head pain due to the odor of perfumes, etc. since 2 years, and the patient was restless. Mental general: patient was effeminate, horrible things side stories affect him profoundly. If patient sees something horrible, like कोई इमोशनल मूवी देख रहा है तो उसके आंख में आंसू आना शुरू हो जाते थे. And conscientious about refills. Patient was very conscientious as when he was studying, there was financial issues in the family, so he left study in midway and started doing some job to help the family. He was a conscientious patient. Repertorization. The rubric that I have selected for repertorization is effeminate, horrible things, sad stories affect her profoundly, mind conscientious about refills, generals riding car in aggravation, general restlessness, and head pain odors strong from. So we are left with two medicines, Lyco and Silesia. So Lyco is ruled out because patient was chilly and thirsty. Silesia ruled in because patient was chilly, thirsty. Because Lyco is heart restless, so Lyco was ruled out. But one more thing to confirm Silesia was magnetism desire to be. So patient was asked कि अगर कभी तबीयत खराब होता है तो क्या लगता है, अकेले रहना चाहते हो या कोई पास में रहे. तो कोई पास में रहे, कोई हाथ पकड़ के बैठ जाए या कोई सर सहला दे. So there was magnetism desire to be. So Silesia was selected over Lycopodium. Because if you see the rubric magnetism desire to be, there is no Lycopodium. Silesia is in top grade along with Calcarea and Phosphorus. So on 2019, when patient first visited, Silesia 31 dose was given, and the first follow-up. This was the first time when patient visited. The first picture, there is a swelling on right side of the lower lip, and on 28/9, after 7 days, swelling reduced to 50%, appetite improved, stool offensiveness decreased, so continued on Saclac. And after 1 month of the treatment on 10/19 लिख गया है, but it's 2019. Reduction in swelling continues, generals improved, continue on Saclac. On 30/10/2019, swelling reduced by 90%, as you can see in the picture. That swelling reduced by 90%, and the bluish hue, which was due to the mucocele, due to the congestion of blood, was reduced. And generals improved on Saclac. Patient continued Saclac पे ही था. उसके बाद 7/11/2019 patient was reported bite at the area while eating the almonds. Almonds खाते हुए उसको उस एरिया में इंजरी हुई, जो कि पिक्चर में विजिबल है. Swelling increased again. फिर से swelling बढ़ना शुरू हुआ. Silesia 31 dose was repeated. On 2011/2019, swelling is increasing, but patient was given Saclac. 4/12/2019, swelling is continuous increasing, and stool is also not clear, but still on Saclac. 12/12/2019, swelling as before, stool not clear. Swelling बढ़ती जा रही थी आफ्टर इंजरी, और उसका जो जनरल्स हैं वो भी रिड्यूस होना शुरू हो गए जो इम्प्रूव थे. So on 24/12/2019, swelling is increasing, stool clear, sleep normal, appetite normal. General सही होना शुरू है, but swelling was not reducing, it was continuing increasing. So Silesia 10 mg 1 dose was given, and after 1 week, swelling started reducing. All generals are normal, so continued on Saclac. And then after 3 weeks, after 4 weeks, the on 28 January 2020, swelling almost healed. Generals are normal on Saclac. And then after 1 month, after 28 January, after 1 month, 27 February, oral mucocele completely healed with homeopathy. All generals improved. Patient was followed on Saclac till 1st July 2020 without recurrence. So it's a cured case of mucocele by homeopathy. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Deepak. That only we say that homeopathy reestablishes internal order at the deepest level and hereby provides a lasting cure. That was a wonderful
Yes, ma'am.
case, Dr. Deepak. And you have more emphasized on generalities. So if at all a particular
Yes,
symptom
ma'am.
is not relieving and generalities are relieving, you should not be worried. You should be consistent and prescribing only Saclac because patient in general is relieving and feeling better.
Improving. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr.
Yes.
Dr. Deepak. Now I call upon our next guest, Dr. Priyanka Srivastava. Dr. Priyanka Srivastava, she will be having talk on homeopathy and epigenetics. It is quite a unique topic. So I would like to call upon Dr. Priyanka. Dr. Priyanka, are you there? Dr. Priyanka?
Yes, ma'am. Hello.
Yes, Dr. Priyanka, over to you.
Hello. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Dr. Priyanka. Yeah. Now you can start sharing a screen.
Ma'am, I will not share any slide.
Okay.
I will just speak on it.
Okay.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. Myself, Dr. Priyanka Srivastava. I am postgraduate scholar at State National Homeopathic Medical College and Hospital, Lucknow. Today, I am going to on this platform, I'm going to express my views on a very under-researched topic and new topic that is epigenomes and homeopathy, and whether homeopathy remedies can change gene expressions in the patients or not. So before starting this, first of all, we must have a view on what are epigenomes actually. Epigenomes, as everyone are the smallest segments of DNA, and DNA are inherited from the parents to a person. But what are epigenomes? Epigenomes are the gene expression, are the modifying responsible for modifying the gene expression. They used to modify the gene expression without modifying any genetic code in the person. These epigenomes depends on the many factors like environmental factors, circumstances, nutrition of the patient, stress level of the patients. They are reversible. Their changes are reversible, but they are not inherited to the person. So how these epigenomes change the gene expression? They do change the gene expression by DNA methylation. Basically, methyl is a molecule which, if added or removed from the DNA, the decoding of the DNA can be changed. Number two, histone modification is also a molecule around which DNA is wrapped in the nucleus, and if its gene expression will be there or not. Number three, non-coding of RNA. Non-coding of RNA works in the same way as the histone modifications do. Now, how homeopathy is attached with this epigenomic theory. As everyone knows that homeopathy is based on the principle of similia similibus curantur, that is like cures likes, and based on it has 7 cardinal principles like law of similia, law of simplex, law of minimum, doctrine of drug proving, theory of chronic diseases, theory of vital forces, and doctrine of drug diamorphization. Along with these, Dr. Henneman, when he saw in his chronic diseases are not completely cured by giving best similimum. So after 12 years of his exercise in 1828, he discovered the miasmatic theory in his book, The Chronic Diseases. where
Dr.
he
Priyanka,
said
Dr.
that
Priyanka, your
the
voice is
fundamental cause
cracking.
this in psychosis.
Your voice is not clear.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Can you repeat?
Uh,
Voice is not
just
clear. Voice is cracking in between. Okay, go ahead.
hello, am I
Yeah.
audible, ma'am?
Yes, yes. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So the theory of miasma that Dr. Hahnemann has given in 1828 in his book, The Chronic Diseases, where he told the fundamental causes of all chronic diseases is miasma, that is psoriasis, psychosis, and syphilis. An organon of medicine has he also explain it in aphorism from aphorism 78 to 81. Now, in the current hypothesis of epigenome, when epigenome has been discovered, the hypothesis of the similarity between miasmatic theory and and the epigenome has been developed. When many homeopaths have seen that the theory of chronic miasma is very much similar to the theory of epigenomes of nowadays. As Dr. Hahnemann has said in aphorism 5 that fundamental causes depends on the environmental conditions, how patient brings up, how what patients eat. Genomes also alter the gene expression by stimulating with environmental factors, nutrition of the patient, nutrition of the person, what person thinks about, what is the psyche of the patients. So both theories are interacted. Now, what we do, how homeopathic remedies are related to the genomic theory, or whether they can alter the gene expression or not. So in last 2 decades, it has been it has been seen in few studies, in ultra highly diluted plant extract induces epigenetic modifications and altered gene expression profiles in HeLa cells in vitro. In this study, when he gave Hydrosis canadensis 30 and Condurango 30 to a solution, he sees that these medicine induce DNA methylation and alter the gene expression, which genes are related to carcinoma. And in another study of Dr. A.R. Khuda Baksh when he do on the rats, suffering from lung cancer, he also sees that when these rats were given Condurango 30, Condurango 30, this alters the progression of lung cancer in rats as well. So however, these are very few studies and no concrete evidence no concrete idea can be formed on basis of these evidence, but it is positive in the way that homeopathic remedies can alter the gene and thus they can be important in curing the chronic diseases because epigenomes, what the theory of epigenomes says that it may be the cause of many chronic diseases like diabetes, cancer, hypertension, hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism. So when such type of studies shows that yes, homeopathy can do through this. And if we go in the past 200 years ago, we can see what Dr. Henneman has said. In his story, Dr. Henneman has said in the case taking from aphorism 83 to 104 that he gives importance to the physical generals and mental generals of the patients along with the pathological generals. However, he minimally gave importance to the pathological generals. He said that physical generals and mental generals of the patient who runs throughout the patient's life are very much important in the selection of medicine rather than the only pathological generals. So he took the patient as a whole. Now after 200 years, what idea has been developed in the scientific lobby? The idea is developing of epigenomic theory, the epigenes which are responsible for altering the gene expression and thus altering the gene expression. So what are epigenes? Epigenes depends on the environmental conditions. So when we go in the homeopathy, when we go through that environment, when we strike on, when we take a case or detailed case history and go through that patient's environment, what patient says, what patient feels, what is his psychology says, what is his physical general says. That is, in the other words, what are his gene expressions. Then we find a simillimum and we give him a medicine that can alter that gene. We give the simillimum which can alter the gene expression and thus curing the patient. So this is the idea. This is the hypothesis. This is the idea which is developed nowadays, and this is very minimally researched. Although minimally researched area, but it although very few studies are there, but all researchers should focus on these studies so that the big questions which arise nowadays, that how homeopathic works. Number one, how homeopathic works can be solved, and number two, can homeopathy work in lifestyle disorders like diabetes, blood pressure, cancer, etc.? Then the answer will be in yes, it can do. How? By altering the gene expression. By at the on the World Homeopathic Day, on this international forum, all researchers should focus on this. I request all should read about this. All should focus on this clinical and fundamental research. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Priyanka. I agree with you. It has been observing that the situations at the time of conception, at the time of birth, during the time of labor, these all situations can create some of the genetic defects in the child. The situation of the conception also. So our homeopathy medicines got capacity to alter the genome, the gene expressions. That's why we reach quite far away because we can elicit, or you can say we can find out the such genetic defects far in advance in fetus, so and we can prevent, like, in future chronic disorders in the child, or the so that, like, homeopathy can do now also, if the evidence is, the folks are working on it, the study of the genome is going on. But now also, on the basis of mother's constitution, on the same base, the similarity between the miasm and the genome theory, that we can prevent the genetic defects in child. in advance before birth. So
Yes.
I appreciate your effort on speaking on this theory of epigenome. Wonderful, Dr. Priyanka. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
ma'am.
Now,
Thank you.
now I may call upon our next speaker, Dr. Jyoti Singh. She will have a talk on homeopathy and mental disorders. Dr. Jyoti Singh. Dr. Jyoti Singh, over to you. Are you there? Dr. Jyoti? Dr. Jyoti Singh?
Hello.
Yes, Dr. Jyoti.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Floor is yours. Over to you. You can start your
Good evening
presentation.
Okay, ma'am. Good evening to all of you. I am Dr. Jyoti Singh from State National Homeopathic Medical College, Gomtinagar, Lucknow. Today I am going to say a few words about homeopathy and mental diseases. Homeopathy is an alternative system of the medicine discovered by Christian Frederick Samuel Hahnemann in 1796. A major population around the globe using homeopathy as a primary healthcare facility. It is based on Laos, and it has 7 cardinal principles. Homeopathy also used for various health-related problems, both physical and psychological. It is also used in preventive healthcare sector too. The medicinal management of psychological problems using homeopathy is more convenient and useful. The anxiety disorders are a group of psychological disturbances that share excessive fear, anxiety, and related behavioral disturbances. Homeopathy in mental diseases. Homeopathy treatment is not only confined to the physical health problem, but also be used effectively in mental imbalance. Then, what is the mental diseases? A mental health disorder characterized by persistently depressed mood, loss of interest in activities, causing significant impairment in their daily life. Possible causes include a combination of biological, psychological, and social source of distress. Some of the common types of mental disorder included depression, bipolar disorder, mood disorder, and anxiety disorder like OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, phobias, post-traumatic stress disorder, and panic disorder, delirium, dementia, and the personality disorder. The symptoms of the mental disorders are the dullness, loss of concentration, forgetfulness, sadness, suicidal tendencies, phobia, anxiety, and psychosomatic disorders. Then what is the role of homeopathy in this cases? Homeopathy is the only way through which a state of complete health can be regained by removal all the sign and symptom of the disease from which the patient is suffering. The aim of the homeopathy is not only to treat mental problem but to address its underlying cause and individual susceptibility. And then what is the bipolar disorder? Uh, bipolar dis- in bipolar disorder, there are many of the homeopathic medicine according to similar symptoms. Homeopathic medicine belladonna. Belladonna is quite effective against bipolar disorder. This is a condition in which there are a symptom of violent behavior. For example, the patient may even strike the person near him for no particular reason. Another symptom of which belladonna works quite well is when the patient indulges antisocial behavior such as spitting on other people. An alternative medication that is generally prescribed for a symptom like destructive behavior, screaming, is like Valium album. Then the another mental disease is schizophrenia. In schizophrenia, hyoscyamus niger is a recommended homeopathic treatment for a patient who shows a symptom of schizophrenia. The main symptom of the schizophrenia is a feeling in which the patient may think that there is a plot against him or her. This feeling may result in the patient avoiding everything offered to him or her, which could potentially include medicines. Another effective homeopathic medicine generally used for treating symptoms of jealousy and suspicion is laxative. Then another disease is depression. This is one of the common mental health problems faced by millions of the people, but homeopathic remedy, Ignatia amara, has proven to be effective for the patient with depression. This homeopathic medicine can treat symptoms such as non-communicative behavior, dull mood, along with the inability to enjoy the company of others. Homeopathy treats the patient as a whole, as an individual. There is no medicine for a particular disease, but there is a medicine for the patient suffering from the disease. In short, treat the individual, not the disease. Our homeopathic material medical is rich in mental symptoms, and we especially use these in the selecting the remedy. Dr. Henneman in aphorism 210 to 230 tell that mental diseases are one-sided diseases and they are purely sodic in nature. There are Dr. Henneman described 4 types of mental diseases: somatopsychic type, mental diseases of acute origin, mental disease of doubtful origin, and psychosomatic type. सोमैटोसाइकिक टाइप को उन्होंने 216 में बताया, मेंटल डिजीज ऑफ एक्यूट ओरिजिन को 221 में बताया, एंड मेंटल डिजीजेस ऑफ डाउटफुल ओरिजिन को 224 में बताया गया, साइकोसोमैटिक टाइप को 225 में बताया गया. Then what is the psychosomatic disorder? In this, the disease of physical origin became transferred to the mental and emotional level. Example, suppuration of the lung transformed into insanity and into mania. The treatment is antisodic treatment, and the second mental disease originated from acute disease. This mental disease appearing suddenly as an acute disease in this patient orderly calm state due to some exciting factors. And the treatment is firstly treat this case highly potentized minute homeopathic doses of proved acute medicine like aconite, belladonna, stramonium, alciamis, having similar mental state in their pathology. If recurrency occurs, then given prolonged antisodic treatment. Then mental disease of the doubtful origin. And in this diseases, treatment of this type given sensible, friendly, coercion, consolatory arguments, and sensible advices. After that, the psychosomatic diseases. In this type of disease, mental disease arising from the prolonged emotional causes. And treatment is antisodic treatment with appropriate diet and regimen. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Jyoti. Wonderful talk on mental disorders. Yes, sometimes I get surprised and I wonder why Dr. Henneman have not given nomenclature of vital force instead of mental disorders. Vital force क्यों नहीं mental disorder क्यों नहीं बोल दिया, यानी कि vital force का नाम mind क्यों नहीं रख दिया, mental force, like that. So wonderful. That's the beauty of homeopathy, that we talk about mentals and we treat the physical symptoms. And so homeopathy offers no penalties, only gifts, only the better health, better quality of life. Thank you, Dr. Jyoti. Thank you so much. Now I may call upon again Dr. Priyanka, Sant, Dr. Priyanka, Dr. Sarfaraz, Dr. Sarfaraz Ahmed, please share the screen. Dr. Sarfaraz Ahmed. Dr. Sarfaraz.
Madam, can you please unmute yourself? Dr. Nodan Sharma, madam.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yeah, ma'am, you are now audible.
Okay. Dr. Sarfaraz Ahmed. Dr. Sarfaraz Ahmed Khan. I request team to allow unmute Dr. Sarfaraz Ahmed and ask them to share the screen. Dr. Sarfaraz?
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yes.
Hello.
Now we have Dr. Priyanka San. She is going to talk on
Yes,
video.
ma'am. I want to share my screen.
Start sharing, Dr. Priyanka.
Hello. Yes,
Hello,
yes, ma'am. I
Dr.
want to share
Priyanka.
my screen.
Yes, yes. Now we can see you. Start
I'm
sharing.
not allowed, ma'am.
I request the team to allow Dr. Sarfaraz Ahmed Khan.
Madam, you can share the screen now.
Okay, okay.
Priyanka, you can do it.
Thank you. Is it visible? Hello, ma'am.
Yes, it is visible.
Good evening. Myself, Dr. Priyanka, PGT batch 2019, State National Homeopathic Medical College, Lucknow. Today, I will explain physiognomy. Next. Physiognomy. It is the practice of assessing a person, practice or character of a personality from their outer appearance, especially face.
We cannot see the slide.
Hello. Hello.
We cannot see the slide.
Hello. Okay,
Dr.
ma'am.
Priyanka,
Okay.
we are unable to see the slide.
You are unable to see the slide. Why, ma'am?
Was it visible before? Was it visible before?
Ma'am, your screen is visible. Can you open the slides?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Now I continue.
Now we can see. Now we can see.
Physiognomy and exact relationship. Yeah. Am I continue?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hello.
Dr.
Physiognomy and
Priyanka,
exact relationship exist between. Hello. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Thank you, ma'am. Physiognomy and exact relationship exist between soul and body, between internal or external of a man. The infinite variety of souls or internal nature of man creates an infinite varieties in his body or externally. In homeopathic constitution, we take body build-up like physical makeup. Now I want to explain some phases in physiognomy. First is vegetative phase, second is energetic phase, third is emotional phase, fourth is bony phase, and fifth is brainy phase. First one is this is the vegetative phase. In vegetative phase, there is digestive and glandular system is more dominant. We can see in vegetative phase low, broad, rounded head and forehead, puffy cheeks, slow moving eyes, soft, fat, double or triple chins, large mouth, full lips, short, broad and depressed nose. We can see that this is the vegetative face like person. The mental character of the vegetative phase, when we see the patient, how can we say this is the vegetative phase? In a person which have the quality of ravenous appetite, love of food, love of sleep and ease, mind is free from anxiety and courage, apparent deficiency of capacity for mental efforts, unambitious, indolent, contented, lacking in integrity and enterprises. Second one is the energetic phase. In energetic phase, there is a more predominant is thoracic system. In thoracic system, in energetic phase, we can see large rounded chest, high cheekbones, full throats, long nose and large nostrils, receding forehead, lower part of face, inclined to oval, bright and active eyes, quick motion and lively gestures. The characters of the energetic phase in mental status, we can see buoyancy of spirits, quickness, clearness of mind, ambitious, hopeness and positive, progressive mentality, high-minded, filled with novel and generosity, ambitious to hold prominent and distinguished position in society, cheerful, supportive, ardent and courageous. We can see this is the energetic phase. Sadhuni. Third one is the emotional phase. In emotional phase, we can see this is the more prominent in muscular system. In muscular system, the outline of face is rounded, forehead is perpendicular, nose is straight, relatively short, soft and rounded. Face is inclined to oval, eyes are more prominent, head is round, eyebrow is arched, and the mouth is medium size. The chin is oval and pointed. In the mental status of an emotional phase, we can see that they are the artistic, emotional, literacy, religious, executive, all eminent artist, actor, singer, musician, scapulars, and endowed with a fine quality of muscles. We can say they are the phases, these are the phases, we can decide that they are the energetic phase. This is the phase of the emotional phase. Fourth one is the bony phase. In bony phase, osseous and bony system is more predominant. Rectangular face, forehead square, eyebrows horizontal, chin long, broad, angular, nose high, long and bony, cheek bones are prominent, superciliary ridges are projecting, eyes are deep seated. Mental characters of the bony phase. More thoughtful persons than emotional are emotive with considerable control of all the emotions. The nature of bone gives solidity, firmness and integrity to the organism. More integrity and power of resistance, honesty and morality, executiveness, conscientiousness, fighter and hard worker. This phase, we can say this is the bony phase, and last one is the brainy phase. In brainy phase, there is a more predominant brain and nervous system. They are the pyriform shape of the face, which is inclined to be narrow, chin delicately modeled chin, nose long, thin, cheek thin hoga, forehead high, broad, full, especially in the upper part of edge, perpendicular. Eyebrows arched, horizontal according to underlying bones. The characters of the brainy face is earnest, excitable, delicate, spiritual, and sensitive in feeling. The emotions such as love, pity, fear, and imagination are very easily excited. Faculty of reason is dominant, and capacity for mathematical labor is highest. Intelligent, brilliant, all senses are acute, very analytical. We can see this face. This face is the brainy face, and we all know this is the Dr. Hahnemann sir. This face is also we can say this is a brainy face, a more intelligent and intellectual personality. And there is a five stage of a man which go through from this. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for wonderful, unique, and very interesting presentation, Dr. Priyanka. Now, I may call upon Dr. Monica. Dr. Monica Yadav, since we have short of time, we have to go fast. Now we have Dr. Monica Yadav. She's going to talk on lifestyle disorders and homeopathic management.
Good evening, everyone. I am Dr. Monica Yadav from National Homeopathic Medical College, Lucknow. I'm here, PG Scholar. I would like to speak a few words about lifestyle disorder and homeopathy today. Lifestyle diseases are commonly caused by lack of physical activity, unhealthy eating, alcohol, drug, and smoking, which leads to heart disease, stroke, obesity, type 2 diabetes, and lung cancer. Alzheimer's disease, arthritis, atherosclerosis, asthma, cancer, chronic liver disease are also caused by unstable lifestyle. Causes behind it: diet and lifestyle are major factors thought to influence susceptibility to many diseases. Drug abuse, tobacco smoking, and alcohol drinking, as well as lack of or too much exercise, may also increase the risk of developing certain diseases, especially later in life. Nowadays, people consume more meat, dairy products, vegetable oils, tobacco, sugary foods, alcoholic beverages. People
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Dr. Monica, please share your screen. We cannot see your screen. Open the folder.
Is it visible now?
No.
No. Is it visible now?
Yes. Go ahead.
Lifestyle diseases are commonly caused by lack of physical activities, unhealthy eating, alcohol, drugs, and smoking, which leads to heart disease, stroke, obesity, type 2 diabetes, and lung cancer. Alzheimer's diseases, arthritis, atherosclerosis, asthma, cancer, etc. are also caused by unstable lifestyles. Causes behind lifestyle disorders. Diet and lifestyle are major factors thought to influence susceptibility to many diseases. Drug abuse, tobacco smoking, and alcohol drinking, as well as lack of or too much exercise, may also increase the risk of developing certain diseases, especially later in life. Nowadays, people consume more meat, dairy products, vegetable oils, tobacco, sugary foods, and alcohol. People are developing sedentary lifestyle and greater rates of obesity, rate of colorectal cancer, breast cancer, prostate cancer, endometrial cancer, and lung cancer started increasing after this dietary changes. People in developing countries whose diet still depend largely on low sugar starchy food with little meat or fat have lower rate of these cancers. Causes are not just from smoking and alcohol abuse. Adults can develop lifestyle diseases through behavioral factor and impact on them. These can be unemployment, unsafe life, poor socioeconomical environment, working conditions, stress, home, etc. Life can change a person's lifestyle to increase their risk of developing one of these diseases. Death statistics in India. According to a report published by ICMR, the total death from major disease group, 62% of all deaths are caused by non-communicable diseases, that is lifestyle disorders. Lifestyle diseases can be prevented through reduction in smoking of tobacco. Overweightness and obesity can be prevented through a well-balanced lifestyle through healthy eating and exercise. Prevention can come about by a person undertaking 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise a week. All causes of lifestyle disease can be prevented through giving up smoking and other drugs, reducing one's intake of alcohol, processed meat, red meats, fatty food, and by engaging in daily exercise. Disorders like hypothyroidism, early diabetes, depression, mood disorders, which are most common these days in urban areas, can be controlled well with homeopathy without any side effects or fear of dependency to the drug. This is global burden of lifestyle diseases, in which 48% is cardiovascular diseases, 21% cancer, 12% respiratory disease, and 3% diabetes, and 16% other diseases are found. Homeopathy is an important modality which can help lifestyle disorders and play a significant role in delaying the occurrence of lifestyle disorder and in management of these disorders. Homeopathy cures patients by medicines whose efficacy has been established by proving the efficacy of such medicine on healthy human being. Homeopathy treats patients through a holistic approach and considers individualistic characteristics of a person along with the disease symptoms. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for everyone. Thank you everyone for having so much patience.
Thank you, Dr. Monica.
Thank you, ma'am.
I may call upon, I invite Dr. Priya Tiwari. I invite Dr. Priya Tiwari. Dr. Priya, are you there?
Yeah, your time is going to end, so please finish your slots immediately. Please hurry up.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Dr. Priya? Dr. Priya, are you there?
Please unmute yourself. Please unmute.
Dr. Priya? No. So now I call upon Dr. Shweta. Dr. Shweta? Dr. Shweta?
Oh, please unmute the current participant.
Dr. Priya? Dr. Priya is there? Dr. Priya Tiwari? Dr. Priya? Okay. Let's move ahead. Dr. Shweta? Dr. Shweta?
Dr. Nodan, I can do one thing. Dr. Nodan, if they have time and you are available, I can give you a slot tomorrow for the remaining participant to prostrate.
Last delegate. We have only 2 delegates, Dr. Amit and Dr. Taura, Dr. Manoj. That's all. Not much time. They won't take much time. Is that fine, sir?
Please raise your hand. Who is that?
Dr. Shweta, Dr. Taura, Dr. Manoj, Dr. Amit. Dr. Taura Ahmed?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, Dr. Amit here.
Dr. Amit, yes. Dr.
Yes, ma'am. Can you?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. I want to share my screen, ma'am. Ma'am, here, whiteboard. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Ma'am, can Ma'am, my train is visible.
No, Dr. Amit, we cannot see you.
Here. Okay, once more. Ma'am, share whiteboard. Or ma'am, where?
Tap the screen, touch the middle, the center button. Tap the screen.
Yes, ma'am, that is same. Share white. Microsoft OneDrive. No. No. Yes. Ma'am?
Yes. No, we cannot see.
Okay, Dr. Nudan,
Yes,
I
sir.
will request you, if they are available tomorrow, we can give time tomorrow for their presentation. 3 of them are remaining. So I appreciate you to conclude so that the other presenters from other country can, don't worry. We will give time tomorrow for you. Don't worry. Okay, because the Bangladesh team is ready to present. So we have to respect their timing. Don't worry, I will give you time tomorrow,
That's
please.
right. We cannot continue anymore. So it was wonderful. Dr. Amit, I'm so sorry. Dr. Amit, Dr. Paula.
It's okay, ma'am. Better luck next time.
Dr. Manoj and Dr. Taura, Dr. Priya. I'm so sorry we could not have your presentation today. So we will be continuing your presentation tomorrow. I'll give you the time slot for the same. So I thank you, the participants who did wonderful job, and thank you for their incredible skills, their energy, their time, their sharing, their experiences. It was wonderful evening with the PG scholars and wonderful minds, young minds. So I thank you, one and all, the previous speakers, and I request my left out speakers, please come tomorrow on the given respective timings and share your experiences and presentations with us.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.